In this video, we're going to take a look at RLS and row-level security as it applies to the Power BI service. Hi, I'm Adam Saxton and welcome to Guy in a Cube, a channel dedicated to helping you and your company gain insights by learning and growing on the Microsoft Business Intelligence stack. I'm back from past BA conference and I got a few questions while I was there regarding row-level security and how that works in the Power BI service, specifically with cloud data models, and also I'm going to talk about DirectQuery. What this will not cover is row-level security in analysis services, because that's a whole separate thing. So before we get into this, let's talk about what row-level security is. And row-level security is just a way to restrict data access by users. This is done by way of using filters at the row level, and you can create those filters based on rules in a given data set. Let's look at an example of this. So let's take myself as the user. I'm going to configure row-level security on a data set in Power BI. Myself, I have access to all of the rows in the data set, and I want to restrict rows for John Doe. I want to say that he can only see the rows if the region is United States. Region is a field on my customer orders table in a given data set that I have in Power BI. So when I create the filter of region equals United States for that role, and I add John Doe to that role, he's only going to be able to see the rows that have region as United States. He's not going to see any of the other regions. Now I can create other roles. Say if I want to create another role for region equals China, and I add John Doe to that as well, he's going to see United States and China, because it's a compound of all the roles that are created for that data set. Okay, let's dive into the Power BI service and actually take a look at how you can set this up. Okay, I have two data sets for Contoso Retail. Let me switch over to my group so this is a little cleaner. You can add these roles to a data set that's in a group or within your own workspace. So let's go to Contoso Sales and we will go to Security. That's how you get into the row-level security configuration. And right now I don't have any roles configured, so we're going to go ahead and select Create New Role. Now, when you do this, you're going to get a prompt the first time saying that republishing of this data set isn't supported with RLS. And what this means is that if I republish the data set by way of Power BI Desktop, or I go to Get Data and Import, or Get Data and Files, then it's going to overwrite the data set and you're going to lose all of the roles that you configured. So be mindful of that when you're going to republish from Power BI Desktop. So let's go ahead and hit Continue. We'll name our role. We'll say United States. All right, we want to add members to this. This can be security groups, it can be distribution lists, it can be users. It cannot be universal groups, which are the groups that you create inside of Power BI. So let's go ahead and add John Doe. We'll see him in the list. Go ahead and add. So he is now a member of this role. We'll go to Rules, and this is where we actually put in the filter. And this is a DAX filter. And so we're going to type in region equals United States. We'll go ahead and save that. So now we have this DAX filter on the customer orders table. So that means that whoever's in this role is only going to see United States. One of the things you can do at this point is if you want to test it as John Doe, or you want to test it as this role, we can click on the ellipse for that role, and we can say test data as role. And so now we're actually viewing as this role, which is United States. And so what we can see here is that we only have United States listed in this map. So we can verify that further by, let's just stick region on the table. We'll set it as a list. Let's make this a little bigger. Save that report. Okay, so now if we go back into the security for that data set, let's go and test the role again. And if we go to sales regions, you can see that I can only see United States. So now let's add another one. We'll call it China. And we'll add John Doe. We'll do the same thing. Region equals China. Save it. Test data. And if we go to the sales regions, we can see that it's only China. And we can select multiple rows here, and if we apply that, now we can see that it's compounded and we can see China and the United States. You can do the same thing on DirectQuery, and it will filter that as well. Let's talk about some limitations. I've already mentioned two. One is that you cannot use row-level security on analysis services live connections. The reason for that is you can configure row-level security at the data source level on the analysis services model itself. So that's where you should do that for analysis services live connections. The other limitation I've mentioned is republishing of a data set in Power BI Desktop. If you republish a data set and it has row-level security enabled on it, you're going to lose it. So you'd have to reconfigure all of it again. With that, data sets have to be created in Power BI Desktop. So if you've created your data set inside of Excel, you will not be able to create row-level security on top of that. Also, Q&A and Cortana are not allowed on data sets that have row-level security enabled on them. So what questions do you have? Go ahead and leave that down in the comments below and tell me if there's something that I maybe didn't cover in this video that you'd like to know about with regards to row-level security. Also, be sure to like and share this video with your friends. If this is your first time here, go ahead and subscribe. Every Tuesday I take a look at a technical item such as this, where I either look at how something works, a new feature, or how to troubleshoot something. And every Thursday I take a look at the last week, find things that were interesting to me, and share that out with you. And really, this is about you. I want to help you be more effective and successful in the things that you do. So go ahead and subscribe and be part of the conversation.